number. Numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad in pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, I'ma make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, 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 count it up. Hey, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she want it like me, cause her blame she can't count on him. She try to be nosy and hit on my ex, she like, girl, you can count on him. Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Coach, we are in the Valley of the Sun. Few places in the country as picturesque as the desert Southwest. And we've got a good one on tap here at State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Arizona Cardinals. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll run on first down. Jefferson. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. To throw, Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go. He's checking.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Protect. 20. 52's the mic. Ricky. Pistol. Hey. Nice 7. 52's the mic, boy. 52. Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go.
On second and 12, Mayfield going right side here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Ito Smith, his first carry. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Operating from the gun. Clifford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Wild Bill. No, check that. Kings. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Go. 52.
Mayfield down. Pressure comes, and down goes Baker Mayfield. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield.
Point it right. Hey, alert! Where's 52? Hurry! 52's the mic. Mike 52. I got it. Mike 52. I got it.
3rd and long for Mayfield. Trying to lay one up deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Run. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Check X3. 218. Chopper. 52.
Mayfield to throw it. to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Switch!
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Regular. Hey, exit. 52.
From the gun, Mayfield. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
70, Indy.
To throw on 3rd down. Clifford is going to fire one deep over the middle. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
On 1st down, Jefferson breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
Real.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
And 12 at the 18-yard line.
180.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Delta.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals push further out in front. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check 13. Check 13. There. SOS. What? Squeeze.
Now Ito Smith. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. From the gun, Clifford. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll try the right side here with Smith. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun. Clifford, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away.
We got this. Over first and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run on first down. Jefferson. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Hurry. You got motion man. You got motion man right there. Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52. Check tight end.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Hey, Haywood. 54.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
Show it in. Show it in. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Watch the pistol. Here we go. No. Hurry.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Point it right. Hurry. Mike 5'4". Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Hey, Foxtrot. 54's Mike.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
At their own 33-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's put that team on the hunt. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch twist. Watch twist. Watch twist. Twist, twist. Twist, twist. Wide. Get wide. Hit it.
From the gun, Clifford. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
43 is the mic. I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school. Look at me. Go now.
On 3rd and 2, Clifford. And he finds a man on the crossing route. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Back to throw. Clifford. He's got Smith here. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hey, Echo. Check right. Watching it right. All you get is a headache. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. I'm coming. Hey, Zoo. Mike, 55. Right there. Mike.
Operating from the gun. Clifford to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check, 43. Hey, let's get... Hey, high 7. 43 is the mic. Double dog. That's the way. Let's go.
The final shot before break. Clifford. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 2nd and 4. This one caught by Ridley. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And again this time to the tailback. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Clifford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 45-yard line. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A 1st down carry for Smith. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
On the double.
55. Check. 55. Mike. Check.
And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter.
On the ready.
43 to Mike.
Bravo.
43 to Mike, boy. 48.
Hey, Sam on.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Kill.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Clifford, he's going to rifle one deep left, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 23, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
On 1st down, Jefferson. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
You can't block me.
Under 10. 10. What's that?
They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson, 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So from the 30. This is Miller. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
No, check that. We got Mike 52 right here.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield going deep this time for Miller. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller. And that'll make it 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
You expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Alert! You can't block. Hey, Orbit. 54. Mike 54. What we got? Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike. I'm going to run you over. Mike's 5'4". My God.
Here's Mayfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken around the 12.
At their own 22-yard line.
Okay, ready?
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Off play action. Clifford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tyus Bowser coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
It's just me and you. Leo. Fight.
Back to throw. Clifford. He's got his man on the crossing route. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Clifford fighting his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 36. Looking to throw. Clifford. He'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
Ready. 10-2 stop. Being pretty quiet. Hey, Wahoo! Mark 55. Tackles.
On 1st and 10, Clifford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
I smell fear in that offense. Hey, watch it, watch it.
Protein spill.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. You're out. To go.
A give to Smith out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Here we go, set, 15, line up, 15 line.
Quarterback, D-line, get that quarterback.
Sit.
Operating from the gun, Clifford, and it's complete, Hooper. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Smith trying to run for it. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They come out here in the I. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Shit! Watch the shit! Check 9, check 9. Check!
They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pick. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith there to make the grab, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here, all right? Let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you, and make sure they touch it.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Regular. Hurry.
Slam. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic.
I'm coming after you.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Cardinals. They've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Well, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here.
Alert, 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 alert. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Up, Johnson.
Smooth. 52's the mic right here over there, right? 52's the mic. Hey, watch the slant.
Here's Mayfield. He's going to wind up and air it out. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Hey, Delta.
Now Mayfield on 4th down. And he comes back with one complete. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it. Shift, shift.
Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels. And